Welcome back to Just a Minute. It's just a Mishnayos. This is Mishnayos and Nishmas. Friday Basrachon, L'schutz of Eder Yitzchak Ben Gila, and their frost. Cerebral Sirish, their foot Shlemos, Mzachas Bava Kama Perek Zayin, Mishnah Dal, the Mishnah Hey. Ganav al Pishnayim, V'tavach Hamach al Pied Echad, al Pi Atzmai. So if someone steals an animal, and there's two witnesses that he stole the animal, but there's only one witness who says that he shechted it and sold the meat, or if he says it himself, Misham Tashlum Kefal, so he only has to pay double. Vein Misham Tashlum Bava Chamisha, he doesn't have to pay 4 or 5 times the amount. Ganav v'tavach b'Shabbos, if he stole the animal and shechted it on Shabbos, Ganav v'tavach l'Avodah Zarah, or if he shechted it for Avodah Zarah. Ganav Mishal Aviv Umeis Aviv v'achakach tavach umachar, if he stole it from his father and then his father died and then he shechted it and sold the meat. Ganav v'higdish v'achakach tavach umachar, if he stole it and then said it belongs to Hekdesh and then he shechted it and sold the meat. Mishalim Tashlum Kefal, so in these cases he only pays double. Ve'en Misham Tashlum Bava Chamisha, he doesn't pay 4 or 5 times. Rabbi Shimon Omer Kedashim Shechayav Kachim Shechai Bachar Yosem Misham Tashlum Bava Chamisha She'en Chai Bachar Yosem Pater. If the this type of carbon which he said this animal is going to be, if it's a type of carbon which the owner has to make sure that nothing happens to it, and he has to bring a new one if it gets stolen or if it dies or anything like that, so then he has to pay 4 or 5 times the amount. But if the owner isn't chayav b'achar yosem, doesn't have to guard it, basically he doesn't have to pay if anything happens to it, so then he's putter from paying 4 or 5 times the amount. He only has to pay double. Mishnah Hey Mecharechut Mechutz Me'echad Me'meh Shabai. If someone stole the animal and he sold it, and he shechted it and sold it, but he kept a small part of the meat for himself, or if he owned the animal with someone else before he stole it and then he stole it from his partner, or if he shechted it and he messed up the shechita and the animal became treif, so he only pays double. He doesn't pay 4 or 5 times the amount. Also in the previous case, if he shechts it in any way which makes it not kosher, so then he only pays double. He doesn't pay 4 or 5 times the amount. If he stole it from the person's own property, but he shechted it and sold the meat outside of the owner's property, or he stole the animal from outside their property, so let's say it was walking down the street and he stole it, and then he brought it to its owner's property and shechted it and sold the meat over there, or if he did all of it outside of their property, in all these cases he pays 4 times 5 times the amount. But if he stole it and shechted it and sold the meat all in their property, so then it basically works out that it belongs to him because they obviously don't care, and he doesn't have to pay for stealing it at all. And those are today's Mishnayos.